any event that you have, be it let's say management meeting, many people, you are catering for them together using the same menu. That is a function. If it is a wedding reception, that is a function. If it is a graduation reception, a graduation ceremony, that is a function or an event. So when you are looking at function meals, when we are looking
Hello Daniel. Daniel.
Sema.
Oh, unaweza nisikia, so maybe basi ni side ya mwalimu ndio iko mbaya.
I think
Juu
inaonesha ko online.
she's online but haongei.
Haongei.
So maybe ni issue kwake.
Wesh.
My friend, ile coffee nitakuweka.
Wesh.
Tuna solve matters na unasema noise-makers.
Wesh.
We are trying to solve this matter.
Which one? By talking.
Yes.
Tunajaribu kugain tujue ni nini inaweza kuwa shida.
Labda ni settings.
Not really.
Okay.
Juu anasema yeye anatusikia but sisi hatumsikii.
Ama atoke arudi.
I exit tena ingie.
Hiyo itasaidia.
We pia Dani umechanganyisha hizo vitu. A log out ndo a log in ndo a log out. Ama namna gani?
Login and log out tena. Nilijua tu Lilia atamute mic acheke.
Mimi sijasema kitu Dani.
Ni a log out ndo a log in.
Yaani lazima tucheke tu. Weza ika tu chini bila kucheka. Weza ika bila kucheka wewe, si ndio? Lazima.
Akikuja tuna amerudi naona.
Okay, you can now confirm whether you can get me.
Yeah, tunakusikia madam.
Okay, sawa. All right, so we can now continue. I was saying we are going to start with function meals, and I will start by defining what a function is. So a function, I've said it is an event. Before you write the definition that I'm going to give you, a function is an event. So here you are catering for many people with the same menu. These are people who have the same menu. They are coming for the same purpose. You will serve them at the same time. Everybody to be ordering their food on their own. No, it is already pre-planned. They announce that we have this particular event. For example, we have a wedding reception, and this is the menu that we would like to make for us. So you already know on a particular day, I have 50 people who will be coming for this event, and this is their menu. So you will cook for them. You'll cook for the 50 people. You will serve them at the same time. Most of the time, you'll find that you're not going to serve them in your restaurant. Maybe they had their own location. So you are going out. That is now what we call outside catering. You are moving out of hotel. You are looking for more equipment, more so to preserve your food to be hot. You are also looking for additional labor. You are looking for a new location. You go and look for water services, electricity services, or power or fuel services where you are going to cater for those people. So in function catering or in function meals, we look at the activities that we do which are not similar to what we do on a daily basis in the hotel and restaurant setting. So let's define what a function is. A function is a catering operation. A function is a catering operation or service provided to a group of people. A function is a catering operation or service provided to a group of people on a specific date and time. Provided to a group of people on a specific date and time. That is what we call a function. Now, some other times you can be asked what is outside catering. So outside catering is what we call function catering, or a function, or an event catering, or a banquet. Now, have a subtopic, factors to consider when planning function meals. Factors to consider when planning function meals. Factors to consider when planning function meals. Now remember, here you are not like waiting for customers to come and order. No, the customers already told you their menu. So there are things that you are going to consider for you to plan for that particular day's event, how you will end up catering for those people. Factor number one, nutritional balance. Nutritional balance. So you as a caterer, you'll have to look at your menu. Is it balanced? Is it nutritionally balanced? Because you have to give a balanced meal. So you look at nutritional balance. Point number two, number of people. number of people. It is very important to find out how many people are attending my event, so that you're able to know how much, what the quantity of food, the quantity of labor, and such kind of things that are required. Number 3, religious and cultural practices. Religious and cultural practices. Religious and cultural practices. Now, you have to look at what is the religion of these people, or what is the culture of these people, because the religion and culture is very important when it comes to the kind of foods that people take. Remember, we say that culture is the way of life of people. So, according to the way of life of these people, what foods do they like eating? Also, according to their religion, what foods do they eat and what foods don't they eat? So that as you come up with their menu and discuss with them and prepare to cook for them, you already know what they expect or what you are expected to prepare for them. Point number 4, the type of function. The type of function. Why are we talking about type? I know we are going to have another subtopic of looking at the type of events, but just to mention, you can have an official event, what we call a formal event. For example, when you are having BOM, the Board of Management, having a meeting and you need to cater for them, that is a formal event. But when you have something like a wedding reception, that is an informal event. So as you consider what to cook for people and how to cook for them, you consider what type of event is it. Is it a formal event? Is it an informal event? Is it a happy event? Is it a cocktail party? Is it a sad event, like is it a funeral? So you need to look at the type of event that you're going to cater for. Now, point number 5, availability of foods in season. Availability of foods in season. Availability of foods in season. Now, in catering, we always look at what food is in season. And the major reason here is 1, we look at the foods in season for cost implications. When items are in season, they are not usually so expensive. But when you look, you need to look for a particular ingredient when it is out of season. You'll find that the person who has that particular ingredient, they are aware they are not in season. So the price will be high, so leading to a higher cost of production. So also check at the availability of foods in season, so that when you are getting to make up your menu, you're also able to attract discounts, you are able to save on cost and maximize on your profits. Last, not last, point number 6. Time of the day the event is taking place. Time of the day the event is taking place. What does that mean? Time of the day the event is taking place. So here we are looking at what time of the day. Is it a breakfast? Are you going to serve a breakfast? Are you serving a lunch? Is it a dinner? Is it a 10 o'clock tea? Is it a cocktail party, an evening cocktail party? So what time of the day? Because the time of the day will dictate the kind of menu that you will come up with, and also the kind of setting that you will be expected to have. The other factor that you are going to consider, knowledge and skill of staff. Knowledge and skill of staff. Are your staff knowledgeable? Also, are they skilled? Do they have the skills required? According to the people you're going to cook for and the kind of menu that you are expected to produce, are they able to produce that menu? The weather. So how is the weather? Is it hot? Because this will also dictate the kind of menu, the kind of items that you're going to be serving to them. Are you going to be serving a cold menu or cold dishes, or are you going to be serving hot dishes? The other point is the amount of money availed by the customer. The amount of money availed by the customer. How much money has the customer paid? Because remember, as a caterer, you are there to serve the customer while making profit. You are not there to just entertain the customer and incur costs without making money and making your profits. You have to recover your costs and make a profit on top, because you need to pay people, and or you are there for business purposes. So how much money has the customer paid? Because whatever they have paid is what will dictate what you will be able to offer them. The last point is dietary restrictions. Dietary restrictions. Dietary restrictions. And when we look at dietary restrictions, we are simply looking at, do we have people with special needs? Do we have people who said, I have a function of 50 people, 2 of them do not take dairy products, other 2 of them do not take sugar, other 2 do not take fat, such kind of things. Are there any restrictions which are going to force you now to have like a variance of items? Items with salt, items without salt, items with sugar, items without sugar, to cater for the dietary needs of each one of them. So that simply means you're going to also incorporate special diets in your menu according to the restrictions of your customers who are attending that particular event. So those are the factors. Those are the factors that you will consider when planning for a function, or planning function meals, or when conducting outside catering, because you are dealing with a group of people, not one person. You are dealing with a group of people. Write another subtopic: resources to obtain before the function itself. Resources or things to obtain before the function itself. So remember, we said that if it is an event, the customer booked you in advance, because they know if you carry out outside catering, you are going to be having many wanting you to cater for events. So they booked you early, they booked you in advance. For example, right now, if you're an outside caterer and you know there are functions coming up in August, in September, in December, people start booking as early as now or before. So you already know on this particular date of October, I'll be having an event, a graduation ceremony of so and so taking place at this particular point. So what do you do as a caterer? You do not wait until that particular day. That's when you start asking, what is the transportation cost from here to this particular place? No. There are things we'll get ready before then, so that on the material day, you just have to start the work on the go. So the first resource, specialized equipment. Specialized equipment. Specialized equipment for holding, cooling, and service. Specialized equipment for holding, cooling, and service. So you will need special equipment. If you need to hold the food, for example, like chefing dishes, they hold the food and keep it warm. Maybe if there are things that need to be cooled, you will also need cooling equipment. Then you also need service equipment. How are you going to serve the food? Remember, you are not in the hotel, so you need equipment to do that work. Number 2, the fuel to use. The fuel to use. If you are an outside caterer, you will have to decide, do I carry my gas? Will they offer electricity I pay? Or do I get charcoal? Do I get firewood? So what the type of fuel that you need to use, you need to get it before. You don't go on the site and then now you start looking, so what kind of fuel am I supposed to use here? Number 3, employment of casual staff. Employment of casual staff. Now, remember, if you are going on a function away from the hotel, then it does not mean that your hotel is closing down, like it will not be operational on that day. No, the normal operation of the hotel will continue, but now you will need to get other people who are not usually part of your daily hotel operations to go and help you in that particular operation. So that is what we call casual staff. The other one, transportation if necessary. That is something else that you're going to need. Transportation if necessary. So if at all you need any transportation to be done, you should do it before the material day. And especially if you are doing outside catering. And when we say outside catering, it means you're going to cater for the event or the function outside your hotel. The other resource is space. Space. So you will need space, and you need space for the purpose. So hyphen for presentation, service, as well as worship. You'll need space for presentation, for service, and for worship. So you need space, presentation, service, and worship. Then another resource you might need, disposables. Number 6, disposables. Disposables. So what are disposables? You do not have enough labor to clean up your utensils, your cutlery, your crockery. So what do? You get the disposable plates, but also other disposables are things like serviettes, the disposable water tumblers, all those. So you need to get them before time. And then ya mwisho, resource number 7, logistics and communication. Logistics and communication. You should have planned in advance the transportation costs and who will transport you, and also communication. Keep in touch. Keep communicating with the person. Keep communicating with the person or the event organizer on the other side. So those are the resources that you will require. The other thing I'm going to talk about is the difference between outside catering and the normal catering activities. So write it as a subtopic. Write a subtopic. Difference between function catering and normal catering. Difference between function catering and normal catering. Now, remember I have said function catering is also known as outside catering, and it is also known as banqueting. A banquet is a function. It is also known as event catering. You are catering for an event, a function, a banquet, a group of people with a common purpose. So you are serving them at the same time, and they already gave you their order and their menu long time ago. They are not coming to order at that time. So we write this point number 1. Menus are predetermined in advance. Menus are predetermined. Menus are predetermined. So predetermined means they were determined before the material day. Menus are predetermined. And arrangements are made in advance. Menus are predetermined and arrangements are made in advance. Full stop. Another point. The customer is a group of people. The customer is a group of people with a common purpose. The customer is a group of people with a common purpose. That is another difference. If you are catering for a graduation reception, all the people who've come there, they've come there to celebrate the graduation of one of them. That is the purpose that has brought, and they are a group. They are like 10 people, 50 people or more. But when you are at the hotel, you attend to each customer individually because everybody has come there on their own. If you have 10 customers, you take 10 orders. But with the function catering, if it is a reception, you already have the menu. You're not going to take any order. You're just going to serve them their food, which they already know they ordered before. Number 3, the function must take place. The function must take place in a separate facility. The function must take place in a separate facility away from the normal service area. The function must take place in a separate facility away from the normal service area. So here we are saying you're not going to use the normal restaurant setting. You'll have a setup for this particular function. And then also you'll find out that those events which are held inside the hotel, maybe they have a tent at the garden or at the field, or you find that if it's a big hotel with many restaurants, they've taken one specific restaurant for that particular function where they are now not taking in the walk-ins, the individual customers. The individual customers will be directed to the other restaurants, and this particular one restaurant is kept for the function. Another point, another difference, I think now we are in point number 4. A function requires separate staff. A function requires separate staff from those servicing the restaurant and the kitchen. The function requires separate staff from those servicing the restaurant and the kitchen. Full stop. So this is to say that if you're having a function or in function catering, you need to separate the hotel staff and the function staff. And that's why we've talked of casual staff, employing casual staff as a resource. You'll need additional manpower, because if it is a function, you need to fully attend to them. And if, again, we've said your operation of the normal hotel will not stop, then you also need it to be functional. So you should be having people to carry out all those activities. Now, those are 4 points. They are supposed to be 5. But number 1, I combined. I said menus should be predetermined and arrangements are made in advance. So those are 2 points in one. So if at all you are told to write 5, then point number 1, you have to break it down. You write number 1, menus are predetermined. Number 2, arrangements are made in advance. Yeah, and then the rest flow as they are. The last subtopic on function menus. Types of functions. Types of functions. I have already mentioned them, but just divided into 2. So you can write functions are divided into categories. Functions are divided into 2 categories. Number 1, formal functions. Now, a formal function is an official function. So, formal functions. These include A, corporate events. Corporate events. Corporate events are events held by the corporates, by the companies. Like, for example, if a company is having a luncheon, a company is having a launch, they are launching a particular product, and they tell you to come and cater for them. That is a corporate, a company. So, corporate events, e.g., that is A, remember, that is A on formal. So, corporate events, e.g., annual parties, the end of year parties, annual parties, luncheons, like when the company has decided to have a lunch together with the employees. Luncheons.
Hiyo ndo swali. Kabla uanza question, unafanya nini? Unasoma nini? Unasoma swali kwanza kabla uanza question. Sawa? Unasoma kwanza swali ndio uelewe, ndio ukuje kuanza. Rudi sasa hapo kwa ile swali yenye kwa hiyo kitabu yako. Soma hapa sasa hapo swali peke yake.
Now, next. My next point. The other one is launches. Launches. If you are going to launch a product. So launches. So if you're going to launch a product. The next point is part B. Part B. Adeline, you don't unmute yourself again. Remember, we are recording our class. So I've said type number 1 is formal functions. And with formal functions, we have corporate events. That was A, and I've given you examples of corporate events like annual parties, luncheons, and launches. Now, B, national stroke government events. National stroke government events. So if you are catering for a government event, what are national events? National events are those the things we call national holidays, like Jamhuri Day, like Madaraka Day. So if you are the person catering for the officials of the government on that particular day at wherever they are, that is a formal function lying under national or government event. So national or government events, e.g. Labor Day, Jamhuri Day, Mashujaa Day, etc. So any national holiday that you are serving, that you are catering for the officials of the government, it is a formal function. Now, type number 2, informal. Number 2 is informal, and this is where most of our events fall. So informal, e.g., bridal showers, birthdays, that is birthday parties, wedding receptions, funerals, pre-wedding parties, etc., etc. There are so many of them. Now, I think you've seen, or I think you've not yet done that. The day you'll be doing your exam or the day you'll be planning, you will see the DFB module 2, planning for such things. And in their question, they're usually told either you are planning for something happening at Safaricom, that is a corporate. So in the theme interpretation, when you see them decorating the restaurant, you will see the module 3s, the DFB module 3, having a theme to interpret. When you look at it, it looks like a baby shower is going to take place here. That is informal. If it is for Safaricom, a corporate is supposed to look at it and it looks official with the colors of Safaricom. So when it comes to functions or how they test the functions, you are doing the functions now, but you should be able to pull that out by the time you are in module 3 DFB. That is where you'll be expected now to execute practical part of it, because right now you are only able to do the theory part of it. So that brings me to the end of function meals. That is the end of function meals. Yes, so now write local dishes. Local dishes. So we begin by some introduction. In our country, we have different regions with different climatic conditions. In our country, we have different regions with different climatic conditions that boost different crops and animals. In our country, we have different regions with different climatic conditions that boost different crops and animals. So what are we saying here? The different regions of the country have got different climatic conditions. So these climatic conditions will support or will boost different kinds of animals and also different kinds of vegetation or plants. Then another statement, it is most likely that in areas where they grow certain crops, it is most likely that in areas where they grow certain crops, and rare certain animals. And rare certain animals that their staple food in areas where they grow certain crops, and rare certain animals that their staple food will generally be based on the availability of these products. Their staple food will generally be based on the availability of those products. Full stop. So what you eat is based on what is available in the region where you stay. And also that usually forms our culture, because we say culture is the way of life of people. When you were born, there is what you found people eating, what you found them believing in, how you found them dressing, and that is how you grew up knowing a human being should stay like this. But when you go and meet with other people, find that these people are different. They even have a different language, but them, that is the language they learned from where they were born. So also this is going to shape what we eat. So where you come from dictates what your staple food is. Now, we can now start having a list of the regions. So number 1, coast province. Coast province. So what we are going to be doing, we'll be writing the region and the common dishes. The region and the common dishes that are found there. So coast province. Then we write the foods readily available include pigeon peas, pigeon peas ni mbaazi, pigeon peas, black beans, mangoes, nuts. So for the nuts, we have coconuts and cashew nuts. And they also have dates. You've interacted with coast people, you know that those are the kind of things that they pay attention to, or they give importance to. So things like mbaazi, things like nazi, dates, and the common fruits like mangoes, the nuts like the cashew nuts and the coconuts. That is what is staple around the coastal region. So that is why they are associated with that. Now, another statement about them. The animals include chicken, fish, and sheep. Chicken, fish, and sheep. So that is what the common animals in the coast region. Another region is the Rift Valley. Rift Valley, watu wa Mursik. Rift Valley. Foods readily available include cereals, e.g. wheat, maize. So cereals such as wheat and maize, fruits, especially tropical fruits, comma, vegetables, such as the wild green vegetables, like the wild green. Now, wild green vegetables are those traditional vegetables. Okay, I have said the Rift Valley. So the foods readily available are cereals such as wheat and maize, comma. Then they also have fruits such as especially the tropical fruits. Then they also have vegetables, and I've said e.g. the wild green veggies. So I was saying what wild green veggies are. And I was saying these are the traditional vegetables that grow in different areas. Things like the managu, terere, the stinging what? Nettle, tafai. That is what you call tafai. All those are green. They are wild green vegetables. Then the animals include so the animals kept in the Rift Valley region include cows, goats, sheep, and chicken in small numbers. Cows, goats, sheep, and chicken in small numbers. Then let's go to the western region. Western, watu wa chai na ugali. Why are they associated with the tea? Because sugar cane grows around their region. And maize. So western foods readily available includes sweet potatoes, comma, cereals such as millet, sorghum, maize. Those are cereals in the western region, millet, sorghum, and maize, comma, pulses, such as beans, another comma, nuts, such as groundnuts. Jason, start your kelele. Nuts such as groundnuts, vegetables such as the wild green vegetables. You're going to discover that we'll be saying the green wild vegetables in almost every region of Kenya, because there are those vegetables which grow in those various, the traditional vegetables that grow in those various regions. So the wild green vegetables. For the animals, they keep goats, but I don't think that goats are very common in the western region. Okay, they are written, they are there, but they are very minimal. So for the animals, they keep goats, cows, poultry, rabbits, and pigs. So for the animals, they keep goats, cows, poultry, rabbits, and pigs. So those are the Western people. The next region is Nyanza. Nyanza region. People from the lakeside. From the lakeside, people from Kisii and the like. That is the Nyanza region. The foods readily available includes cereals such as maize, rice, sorghum and millet. Maize, rice, sorghum and millet, comma. Vegetables, e.g. the green wild vegetables. So vegetables, e.g. the green wild vegetables. Animals, e.g. poultry, fish, cows, goats, and rabbits in small amounts. So the animals, they have poultry, fish, cows, goats, and rabbits in small amounts. Then our next region is going to be the Eastern region. The Eastern region. So we also need to know what people from Eastern are known for. Foods likely to be found here include pigeon peas. I already said that pigeon peas ni mbaazi. So pigeon peas, comma, cassava, maize, pumpkins, bananas, avocado, and some beans. So not all beans. So some beans. For the animals, they have goats, chicken, cows, and rabbits. Chicken, cows, goats, and rabbits. Full stop. They also have vegetables such as kunde, spinach, and sukuma wiki. They also have vegetables such as kunde, spinach, and sukuma wiki. Then we go on to another region, northeastern. The northeastern region. So the northeastern region. They keep animals. They keep animals such as camels, goats, cows, and sheep. Keep animals such as camels, goats, cows, and sheep. Full stop. They have cereals such as wheat and maize. They have cereals such as maize and wheat. And also wild green vegetables. And also wild green vegetables. Then on to our last region. Our last region is the central region. Central region.
Sekunde yangu kuna mali imekatika.
Central region. The foods readily available include cereals, such as maize, rice, sorghum and millet. Cereals such as maize, rice, sorghum and millet. Comma, pulses such as beans and peas. Pulses such as beans and peas. And vegetables such as the wild green vegetables, comma, cabbage, comma, broccoli, spinach, lettuce, aubergines ni eggplants, aubergines, courgettes, cucumber, etc. So all those vegetables from the central region. They also keep animals such as poultry, cows, goats, sheep, pigs, and rabbits. So they also keep animals such as poultry, cows, goats, sheep, pigs, and rabbits. So that is the central region. Those are the kind of animals that they keep. And now this brings me to the end of the local dishes. International dishes is our next subtopic. And we begin by writing this particular introductory statement. In our day-to-day lives, all over the world, our ways of cooking are changing. In our day-to-day lives, all over the world, our ways of cooking are changing and are influenced by the cooking of other communities. They are influenced by the cooking of other communities, regions, and countries. They are influenced by the cooking of other communities, regions, and countries. Full stop. So you find that especially because of tourism, because of travel, people travel from different places to other different places, and they expect to find their cuisine in that particular place. So you find that people start learning how to cook for people from different areas, and that is why now international dishes come about. You are able to cook for Italians, you are able to cook for Indians, you are able to cook for Britons, because you have learned their way of cooking, or their foods and how those foods are cooked. Now, write a statement down there. The reasons for this include, so what are we calling this? Whatever we are calling this is why our ways of cooking are changing, or why our ways of cooking are being influenced by other people. So there are reasons. Reason number 1, rapid spread of tourism. Rapid spread of tourism. So people have traveled far and wide in different countries. Reason number 2, foreign investors. Foreign investors have opened up restaurants. Foreign investors have opened up restaurants using their own foods and styles of cooking. Using their own foods and styles of cooking. Now, for instance, if an Italian comes to open their Italian restaurant in Kenya, you cannot tell them, this is Kenya, you have to cook Kenyan foods. No, they'll open an Italian restaurant and they'll cook their foods, how they are cooked, where they come from, to attract other Italian customers. And in that case, even Kenyans will be interested in knowing what kind of foods do they eat. So they'll end up having an experience of that, and then they incorporate it also in their own way of cooking. So that way you find that there is that interchange of what do those people eat, how do they cook it, what do we eat, and the exchange of, you can see what we do, we can see what those other people do. Another reason, development of air cargo. Development of air cargo. That is another reason. And why is it a reason? It is a reason because now perishable products from other countries can be readily available because they are being transported through the air cargo. So development of air cargo. Okay, confirm whether you can now hear me. I don't know what kind of technical problems I'm experiencing today. Okay. I've not been able to identify what's wrong because the network is there. I don't know what's happening. But just you're doing well. Just anytime you're not able to hear, let me know. Okay, so have you written up to point number 4 or you've written number 1, 2, and 3? Because number 1 was about rapid spread of tourism. Number 2 was about the foreign investors who come to open their restaurants using their own food and styles of cooking. Then point number 3, we've said development of air cargo. Okay, development of air cargo, that is number 3. So I have said the reason why that one is a reason or it's a point is because now it is possible to transport even the perishable products or perishable ingredients from different countries because of availability of air cargo. Then the last one, number 4, the media. The media has stimulated an interest. The media has stimulated an interest in worldwide cooking. The media has stimulated an interest in worldwide cooking. Full stop. So through the media, because the media is showing different styles of cooking in different countries, so people learn from that. They try out recipes from the media and then they are able to produce the same. So those are the reasons why we have international dishes. So just like the way we've done with the local dishes, we are going to be mentioning some international cuisines from various countries. So let's begin with number 1. Right, number 1, Britain. So here we look at the British dishes. So Britain, so we write this. Their land is rich in wheat production.
Whose land?
Their land, the land of Britain. Their land is rich in wheat production, as well as stems. You remember we talked about the stem vegetables. Stem vegetables like which ones? Like leek. So as well as the stems and pod vegetables. Pods like the haricot beans. The stem and pod vegetables. Okay, brassica is a category of vegetable. That is the class which contains cabbage, the white cabbage, Chinese cabbage, and red cabbage. So hizo ndio zinaitwa brassicas. The same way we have green leafy vegetables. Na tunasema green leafy vegetables, e.g. sukuma wiki, spinach. That is the same way we say brassicas, e.g. red cabbage, white cabbage, Chinese cabbage. So that is a type, a classification of vegetable, cabbages. So their land is rich in production of wheat, as well as stems and pods in vegetables. So tukisema stems na pods, we mean the stem vegetables like the leek. When we say pods, tunamaanisha zile vegetables zinatoka kwa pod kama beans. So here we have haricot beans and runner beans. They also have cabbages, so they also have brassicas as a vegetable. Another point, they also rear animals. They also rear animals such as cows, pig, sheep, and poultry. Now, some examples of their dishes include chicken nuggets, cabinet pudding, and Christmas pudding. So they are known for puddings. They like puddings. So chicken nuggets, cabinet pudding, and Christmas pudding, those are just examples of a few of their dishes. Another region, number 2, of international dishes, France. The next region is France. These ones are mostly known for wine. Now we write this. They are a chief grower of vineyards. They are a chief grower of vineyards. They are a chief grower of vineyards. So by that we mean they grow vineyards. So most wines, red wines and white wines, come from this. Another statement, they grow vegetables such as stems, brassicas, and fruits. Stems, brassicas, and fruits, or you can write fruitings. So when we say vegetables, we have stem vegetables, I've already mentioned those. We have brassicas, I've already mentioned what they are. So when we come to fruitings, these are the fruit part of the plant, which are the vegetables. Something like the tomato. The tomato is a fruit vegetable. Or cucumber, it is a fruit vegetable. Another statement, they keep animals such as cows, animals such as sheep, goats, cows, goats, sheep, and a bit of poultry. Full stop.